What it is, y'all, it is your old boy Pilk. Now, I had initially devised this video to bring you guys a video regarding the weekly free anime gacha. Now, instead, let's have a basically discussion about mechanics, because we got 2 new mechanics this week in the game. One of them, well, not so successful, but it was a really, really, really great idea. So let's start off with that idea. Now, if you ran this yesterday, you know that True Familia Royale went live yesterday, like actually sometime in the morning. Now, this introduced a new mechanic called Skillflow. Now, currently, if I click on it, it's going to error out the game. The game's going to crash. And unfortunately, that is actually going to be fixed in some emergency maintenance that should be happening any minute now. So, in fact, if we go up here to the news, boom, boom, you can actually go into malfunction, and it'll say right here, regarding issue with True Familia Royale, we've confirmed the following issue. We're going to get some stuff for this, but basically error 400 will happen if you try to go into True Familia Royale, and the whole thing's unfortunately messed up. Something with Skillflow actually caused the problem. Now, I initially set up last night after we were streaming the other games to do a video on Skillflow, because I think Skillflow can be a really awesome adaptation to the game that would help, especially people that don't have a lot of time. But frankly, it helps like everybody. So let's go ahead and talk about what Skillflow does. Basically, when Skillflow is implemented, it's going to come up with this screen after a run. And you can go through here and you could choose 1, 2, 3. And regarding on, you know, whatever turn you're on, you can actually modify the basically the buff stack, the turn SA gauge, all that stuff. You can modify this to do anything you want in battle. So obviously, like, skill 1 would be skill 1, right here, heroic strike, ultra fire, a physical attack with temporary strength boost. I think that's actually Argo Bell. So whenever you're on 1 up there, it's going to do this on that turn. So like, turn 1 is skill 1, turn 5 is skill 1, turn 8 is skill 1, turn 11 is skill 1, and turn 14 is skill 1, as you can see above. Turn 2, he's going to do Rapid Firebolt. Same with 3, same with 6, 7, 9, 10, 12, 13, and 15. So you can see up there the order in which these attacks are going to occur. Now, there is a button above that that has no number in it. That basically is a null modifier, and what that's going to do is it's just going to do a base level attack. It's not going to be a skill number. It's just going to be a very basic attack. More or less stuff you use when you like run out of stamina or you're trying to do stamina conservation. Now, the blue button down here at the bottom, that is actually an SA. And when you click that, that means on that turn, if there is SA gauge charge available, your unit is going to do an SA. And basically what you do is after you do a run, you can actually come in here and click this button. Previous battle, apply Skillflow. So basically it's going to automatically adopt whatever you did on that match, and it's going to immediately put it up here. Then you can go in and you can modify it, you can change things. This wasn't successful, this was successful, so on and so forth. You can do this for all 6 units in battle. It is very, very useful for people that do like auto battles and stuff like that. This actually turns auto battle into something as good as doing, you know, just a general run. Now, obviously, there are still some benefits to doing a general run. You can adapt to different types of attacks, heal strategies, SA strategies, things like that. But if you're pressed for time or you just know this is how it's going to run, you can go in here and do this. And then you can save your skill flow, and then that skill flow is tied to that unit. Case in point, if this person took Argonaut Bell back into Familia Rush, this is the turn order every single time without fail. So Skillflow was a really awesome idea. Unfortunately, it seems like we're not going to get it anytime soon. They actually, if you go back and you look at the news, they're going to remove Skillflow and re-implement True Familia Royale. Basically the same, more or less, that we've had the past couple of times. So there's not, unfortunately, there's not a huge change now. Like, this is just going to be what it is. I hate to say it, it's just a thing now. So hopefully they'll re-implement Skillflow at some point. That's a mechanic that I think would be really good for Record Buster, would be really good for any of the EX bosses, would be really good for any of the general bosses in the game just as a whole. Their Skillflow would be something really awesome to implement just as a general rule. So hopefully they bring that back. Okay, now that's Skillflow. The other thing that they introduced is Resurrection. Yes, and of course that came with our new anime unit, Fels. Now I've talked about this before. I'm going to go ahead and do my gotcha real quick. I've talked about this before, but in my case, Fels is the only unit in the game. Of course, we're going to get a cold door on this one, based on what I'm about to say. The only unit in the game that has absolutely evaded me. I do not have a single Fels unit in this game whatsoever. So I'm definitely going to be doing the guaranteed here and grabbing a Fels. And then I'm probably going to be, probably tomorrow night, doing the paid banners on Fels to make sure that we get her, he, she, it. Because, frankly, I just need this unit for the CP rewards. And, frankly, this unit is really, really, really good. So, didn't get that on the freebie, but I'm going to go ahead and do the guaranteed. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe we'll pull more than one. That would be pretty awesome. All right. So, not there. Not there. Not there. Wow, this is not lining up to be a very good one, is it? This is not going to be a masterclass in how to summon. Wow, game. You are doing this right now. There we go. Well, I got Fels. That's the important part, I guess. So, when I upgrade Fels, I'll go ahead and do it right now. When I upgrade Fels to level 60, we're going to get a little bit of an Iris reward. So, let me go ahead and grab Fels here and give them the upgrades. Alright. We're going to just do this real quick. Get Fels up to level 60. Like I said, I'm probably going to wind up doing the paid banners to get the rest of the bonds. I want Fels, but I'm saving my free-to-play Iris for something else. So this just for me is my choice. I'm not saying that's what you need to do. I'm just saying that's the decision that I'm making at the moment. Alright. So we're now at level 60. That's good news right there. And we're going to be completely unlocked. So once we do this, we're actually going to go back out here to the guild. And you'll see, upgrade level to level 60, rank up to 6-star, rank up to 5-star. So basically, that's going to give me 30 Iris just for doing that in general. Plus, since I downloaded somebody unit that now is Hero Ascension, I'm going to get 2 Ascension Fallen for it. So just got 30 Iris. Now, if I go over here, I've already collected those today. Interesting. So we go to the character list, and I go all the way to the bottom here. And I actually did this the other day when we got Bachi and Kali and Argana. If I go to offer present, I should have yet books of knowledge, books of nobility. I'm going to go ahead and give 25 books of nobility. No. 20 books of nobility. That's 8,000. That's going to get us what? Level 17. Level 17. So we got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40 Iris for that little endeavor right there. Plus 50, 60, a lot of Iris. I'm basically going to get just what, another, let's just say for the sake of argument, 100 or so Iris out of this. You can see real quickly, if you do not have a Fels unit, you could, in theory, and in theory, mine just happens to line up almost perfectly here, that I've got 110. You could easily make back the 400 Iris you spent on the guaranteed. So don't be bashful about that. When you have a unit that lacks the CP levels, just go ahead and throw something in there, get it going. It's totally worth. It is totally worth just getting the CP rewards. Even if it doesn't pay off today, it's going to pay off definitely without question over time. And like I said, I've been looking for a Fels unit for a long time. The others, I believe there's only 2 others in the game. They've completely evaded me. So this was just a perfect opportunity to ensure that I got one of them. Plus, I really want this unit, so that's good news. Now, why do I want this unit? Well, let's go ahead and go into Wargame here. I'm going to just go ahead and pick on any old person here. War Game Party. Now, this is just a general grind team that I put together. This is actually isn't representative of my final team, but we haven't talked about this too much before. If you click on Trial Unit here, okay, I'm going to do slot 4, main member. I'm going to choose Oranos and Fels. Now, the reason that I'm going to do that is because of what Fels does, all right? Go in here. I'm going to talk specifically about Fels' essay. Fels' essay is add strength and magic plus 80%. It's 20% less than Haruhime does, but it's a very good mechanic. 50% chance to grant revival once, which will revive adventures at 50% max HP. So, basically, in battle, and I don't know if we're going to pull it off here, probably not because of the way my team is built, but if Fels does an essay, and I have the essay set to buff, so hopefully she should, I would think. Elise might, actually, because she's in the... Elise is in the front line, so actually Elise would do it. I need Fels on the front line. But basically, yeah, no, he just wrecked me. He just absolutely wrecked me. I'd have to go build a team that heals to really get the full benefits out of there. You want like Artie on your team. I had Artie on there, obviously. You want healers. You want... So when your unit dies, basically that little medallion... or when Fels does her essay, his essay, she's essay, whatever his essay. Now a little flustered. Whenever Fels does the essay, there's an opportunity that any one of your 4 units on the team could have a little pop up there at the bottom in the medallions, in the icons, that shows revival. So when that happens, if they die, then they are instantly reincarnated at 50% health. That doesn't sound like something insane, but if you have a full team of healers, that could be ridiculous. It's pretty mind-numbing to think that, if someone like Lead were to croak, because he's the cornerstone of a lot of teams right now. If he were to croak, that he could, in theory, have 50% chance of returning to the battlefield and then have everybody else heal him. It's pretty wild. It's pretty nuts. So the resurrection mechanic is a really interesting addition to the game. We'll have to see how it plays out. But, for now, just understand that this is a distinct possibility. If you're going up against stall teams, this is going to make stall teams definitely very viable. So you hear somebody that already has Fels on their team. The only downside is you want Fels to be... You've got to put Fels in a position where Fels will be getting the SA. You've got to heal enough that everyone's going to get to turn 4. Because right now, turn 4 is like kind of a pipe dream for a lot of people. Because there's so many teams that wreck so quickly. So, it's an interesting game-changing mechanic. How it will work out and play in the long run, we'll have to see. I've really got to sit down and vet a team and try it out, and I just haven't had the opportunity to make that happen. But let me know what you guys think of all these new mechanics and everything we've got, because it's very, very, very interesting. I like Skillflow. I wish Skillflow was working. I can't wait to see them bring it back in and implement it, especially for like Record Buster. Oh my god. The only nice thing about Skillflow that they did add that we kind of weren't aware of in the beginning, they did say very early on that you would be able to copy Skillflow. And actually in Skillflow proper, as we were playing with it last night, frankly, you could undo the copy status. So you can stop somebody from copying your Skillflow, which is kind of nice. Though, you still have to know, they set to balanced, or they set to this, they set to that. Like war game settings. Or, you've also got to know what orientation they are in the battle, what their CP levels are, what equipment they're using. There's a lot of unknown variables still. But, it's a really, really, really interesting mechanic. Resurrection, on the other hand, is potentially dangerous. I've talked ad nauseum about how I don't feel like stall teams are all that viable for Familia Wargame. This actually changes that a lot. Now, you do still want to kill in 4 turns, but there's ways you could get that SA very, very quickly, and if that happens, I hate to say it, but there's not a lot of opportunities to take out a unit a second time. A lot of times that unit comes back and is just, especially with like lead, someone that's strong, the goal is to get him gone. So bringing him back is a little demoralizing. But I don't know, we'll have to see how it plays out. For now, that's going to be the video. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section down below. Like, comment, share. Catch you guys on the next one.